Okay, good evening. This is the East Lyme Board of Selectmen regular meeting of December 17th, 2025. We're in the East Lyme Town Hall upper meeting room. It's about 7:04, and if we could rise and recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, any additional agenda and consent calendar items? We are going to make a change on the agenda.
Do you want a motion?
Yeah,
So,
let's have a motion.
I'll move to, under new business 3A, presentation by the tax assessor regarding veterans exemptions. We're going to move that to after the consent calendar.
Do I hear a second?
I'll
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, the consent calendar. Let's take a look.
No.
it's-
Delegations.
you need
Oh, I'm
to
sorry,
look at-
delegations. Yep. Do we have any delegations tonight? Anyone that wishes to address the board? Any delegations? Going three times. Any delegations? Being none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the public hearing minutes of December 3rd, 2025?
Move to approve the public hearing minutes of December 3rd, 2025 as submitted.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Any corrections? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Being none, the motion carries. Next, do I hear a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of December 3rd, 2025?
Move to approve the regular meeting minutes of December 3rd, 2025 as submitted.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in, any discussion? Corrections? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, next is the consent calendar.
Move to approve the consent calendar for December 17th, 2025 in the amount of $2,938.40.
Looks pretty routine. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? Being none, all in favor? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Being none, motion carries. Consent calendar is approved. Now, at this time, we're going to, as we mentioned earlier, we're going to move out of sequence a little bit. And next will be a presentation by our tax assessor regarding veterans exemption. Diane, would you like to make a presentation to us tonight?
Yes,
And just identify yourself for the record so everybody knows.
Diane Vitagliano, assessor for the town of East Lyme. And I'm here tonight to tell you about some changes in the legislation regarding the veterans exemptions. First, let me say, if there are any veterans in the room, I would like to say thank you very much for your service. It means something to say I pledge allegiance. So thank you. Last year, we had the addition of legislation which introduced the new APA exemption. Veterans are done with a lot of initials for coding. So we had the new APA exemption, which is for the permanent and totally disabled veterans with 100% service-connected disability rating. The bill was passed with a little confusion and some misinformation, and they tried to correct some of that with this new legislation. The veterans exemptions and the veterans codes and the information from the veterans department itself can be a little confusing. What I did, and this is in Public Act 25-168. And I did send you a link to that public act. And you can find this information beginning at page 337 of the 745 pages, in case you want some light reading. It's anytime you deal with the statutes, you know, one statute and then it refers to 5 other statutes, and you have to read all 5 statutes to understand the one change. Well, I tried to do all that for you and condense these 50 pages into 10 bullet points. Okay, so hopefully I have done that. So one thing that the bill did, and in cleaning up the language, they extended the exemption to a fractional share of a dwelling. For example, condominiums, trailer homes in a park, or a unit in a common interest community, previously precluding any commercial use or rental income. Previously, they had left that category out. The new legislation also extended the exemption to properties that were held in trust for the veteran. That was a big one. The way they had written the statute, it had to go to the veteran, and if they didn't own real estate, it had to go to the veteran if they owned a car. It could not go to something that was held in a trust. And they have changed that. It couldn't be in a trust for a veteran, it could only be in a trust for the spouse. But they've changed that, and so now they've extended it to a trust that can be for the benefit of the veteran. It extends the exemption to widow, widower, or minor children who were domiciled as tenants for life or tenants for a term liable for property tax. So they extended it to that life use situation for a widow or widower who was eligible for that APA exemption. It also extends the exemption to veteran-owned residential dwelling on leased land. So they hadn't included that before. And they made it so that the veteran has to, or the applicant has to submit an application. The application has to be submitted prior to January 1st. This is an uncommon date in our office because in our office, all of our dates go by October 1st, the assessment date. So they really, it really kind of threw a little bit of a monkey wrench in here that they have until January 1st. So my numbers have been a moving target. So even today, I was adjusting them, right up until this afternoon. So that you could have accurate numbers to go by. But it's very beneficial for us that there is an application because we can make sure that we have the most up-to-date information. So when the veterans, when they say permanent and total, it doesn't mean permanent and total the way that we might interpret it to mean permanent and total. So we have a lot of people who are permanent and total, 100% disability, that do work full time. And their percentages could change. So we do have veterans that their percentages could increase and that would make them eligible, and this allows them to be the eligibility exemption to be applied in that grant list year without having to wait. And it also makes sure that if their disability rating is no longer 100%, if it's decreased, then they wouldn't be eligible for that anymore. So that's how they cleared up some of the issues that they had with the legislation. And what they did was some of the issues that came up, they put them back onto the towns in the form of local options. So a local option is an option, the first three that I'm gonna cover, there's 5. The first 3 that I'm gonna cover are options that are, you can choose at any point in time. They're in the they can, you don't have to make a decision for this year. You could always adopt it in a future year. They're just options that are being extended to the, on a local basis, and these 3 only require a vote of the Board of Selectmen. The first one allows by local option a town to exempt the house and up to 2 acres of land. So the way the legislation works right now, it's just the dwelling. It's not the house lot and the excess acreage. So it would allow you to extend it to either the house lot or the house lot and a percentage of their excess acreage up to 2 acres. The second local option is for a town to provide the surviving spouse of a permanently and totally disabled veteran with 100% service-connected rating who died prior to October 1st, but after a date to be determined by such legislative body, be eligible for this APA exemption. This is very new and different because generally the way our veterans exemptions work, it's the spouse is entitled to what the veteran was entitled to at the time of his death. And the third local option that can be adopted by vote of the Board of Selectmen is to limit the exemption of an amount equal to the median assessed valuation of residential real property in such a municipality. The way the exemption works now, the bigger the house you have, the bigger exemption you have. So this kind of would enable the exemption to be a little bit more equitable. It puts a cap on it. And then there are 2 options that would be available by vote of the legislative body.
I'm sorry. You just said there's these 3 bullet points could be done at a later time, and now you're saying the next 2 are only if the legislative body, the state legislature passes it, correct?
No, it's if it would have to go to a town vote. So the first 3, the Board of Selectmen can vote to adopt or not adopt, or adopt sometime in the future. The next 2 have to be done by a town-wide vote.
Thank you.
And so the first one extends the APA exemption. The APA exemption, like I explained before, is permanent and total with 100% disability rating. This would extend the exemption to what we call TDIUs, and that's a service-connected total disability based on individual unemployability. These, and I think honestly that was the group that they originally thought that they were, I think the original bill, I think they were trying to do this group. These veterans, they already receive benefits based on their degree of disability. There's tiers, 10 to 25, and there's a number of tiers. And anybody that has a disability rating, say you had a disability rating at 10%, when you turn 65, it gets bumped up to the top grade. So if you had a 10% disability when you turn 65, you get the exemption based on 100%. So those are all under 1281.20. But this would allow them to get the APA exemption, which is the entire dwelling. The second option that the town could adopt would be the extending the APA exemption to the surviving spouse of a veteran who was killed in action. So it's the Gold Star, commonly referred to as Gold Star. So there was a previous Gold Star local option that the town has not adopted from years ago. This one would change the Gold Star exemption, and they currently are receiving an exemption. They currently get a special exemption for being a surviving spouse. But this would extend the APA exemption to their surviving spouse under this option. Okay, so that's all the changes that the town can consider in this new legislation. So, but where do we stand now? What's our picture now? So right now, our current veterans exemptions, we currently have 1,629 military with exemptions, totaling 16,483,610 assessed. Of that, we have 62 APA veterans. The 62 APA veterans make up 4% of the number of veterans, and they receive 55% of the total exemptions. So of that 16
Where are
point,
you in this document?
yeah,
Where are you?
Which,
Page?
She's down here. She's in front, the back of the page.
oh, you're still on the second.
I'm still on words.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
On
see
the
it.
back page.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, so sorry.
I tried to put in a kind of
Yeah.
a synopsis, a starting point, so you know where we
Yeah.
are. It's
Thank you.
hard to know, it's just a synopsis of where we are right now. So the 62 veterans make up 4% of the military that have exemptions, with 55% of the exemption. And last year was the first year that they enacted this legislation. And in 2024, we had 41 veterans. And the amount of the exemption was 4.9 million. So I put together some spreadsheets because, I'm an assessor. We love spreadsheets, but everybody probably doesn't love spreadsheets as much as we do. So I condensed the spreadsheets into another spreadsheet, which hopefully makes it a little easier to understand.
Is that, and which one should we be looking at?
Okay, so this one, the
Thank you.
more basic one, is kind of the summary.
Yep.
Okay, so basically, it tells you what the current exemption, the current APA exemption is. Then it tells you what it would be if you added on a building lot. And then if you go down that same column under assessed valuation, it tells you what it would be if you added the dwelling, the building lot, and up to 2 acres of land. So now, all of these land adjustments have to be manually calculated. Because the way our land lines work, they're very complex. We have the house lot and then any excess acreage, you're only allowed 2 acres. So you have to do an apportionment, and our system can't handle that. So I had to do a lot of number crunching. And so it gives what the total grand list loss is by adopting each one of these, each step of the way. So you can see what, what's involved, what the impact is. And then one of the options was the capping it at the median income, the median residential value, not income, value. And that should be based on the date of revaluation. Because our tables are frozen the day of revaluation, and then we get all new tables at the next revaluation. So this median, the median is from our 2021 revaluation, and the next median would be at our 2026 revaluation. It would be very complex to try and calculate out that median value every year. It would kind of be like a moving target. And to kind of be equitable, it has, that's how we do things based on grand list year, based on the revaluation. And then the lower half of this sums up what it would be if you extended the exemptions to the unemployable as determined by the Veterans Administration, the total unemployable. And we have 9 of those vets, and that exemption would be known as ARC. And that's important when you go to look at the last spreadsheet. So we currently have 9 of those. We also have 9 pending. Pending means we think they may qualify. We don't have updated paperwork on them to say so. And the same thing with the APA exemption. We actually have 56 veterans. I believe there's a typo on this page. It should say 56 veterans with 5 pending. Those numbers represent the 56.
Are you speaking about the top left number, 51 and 7?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
that
it should be
should be
50, 3?
It should be 56 veterans and
5.
5 pending.
Got it.
And that's, the next spreadsheet shows the 56. It's hot off the press as of 3 o'clock this afternoon.
If I just could stop you for a minute. So the top half that are in green,
Yes,
am I correct that those are the ones that the Board of Selectmen only needs BOS approval only?
correct,
That doesn't need a referendum?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
But the yellow does.
Yellow does, right.
Yes, that is correct. Yellow does.
Thank you.
So, can I just ask a quick
Yes.
question? So, just for hypothetically speaking, if the Board of Selectmen approved it, say called the green list, and then the town approved the yellow list, then are we talking basically how much, I'm not a math person, $30 million that would be the grand list loss? Is that what you're saying?
No,
No.
it would be, well, it depends. So if you just did the first, if you just follow the colored line all the way down, the loss off of the grand list by adding in the TDIUs would be 16 million.
So not 14 and 16?
Not
right?
14 and 16.
Okay,
It's a
understood.
running total as you go down, because
Okay.
the TDIUs are 9.
Okay,
What I
got it.
don't have in here is, and quite honestly, it would be, I don't know how to give you the answer,
Yeah.
is who would be the Gold Star, not the Gold Star, but who would be the widows if you chose to extend that APA exemption under one of the first three local options, it said that you could extend it to a widower whose husband, or whose spouse, excuse me, would have been eligible for the APA. I don't know, really, that's a little bit of a challenge, because typically they are not, you're only allowed the exemption that happened while you were alive. So that would be extending it to people, and it's, you know, I have no end date, so I don't know how to give you a number. You know, you could extend it to the widower or widow of a veteran who would have been eligible since the passing of the bill in May to this time. But the original bill, it excluded anybody who had died prior to October 1st.
Okay.
You know, it was only available on the 24 grand list for any widow or widower whose spouse passed away after October 1st, which was when the bill took effect for our October 1, 2024 grand list year.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay, so if we look at the page with the colored blocks on it, total, and the ones in the green, the total grand list loss is $14,584,724. If we move over to tax loss, that's $408,518.
Yep.
But if we move down to the ones that require, if we included the ones that required a referendum, it looks like the same number moving across. The total grand list loss is 16 million and change, but the tax loss looks identical. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
It's a good
No,
catch, Dan.
that's not correct. It would be the 408,518 plus the 43,745.
Gotcha. So we have to add those two together.
Yeah, I can send you out a corrected spreadsheet
Yeah, okay, so
for that, and I can also tell you.
So does that change the figures in the next two columns? Those are.
I got 452, 263.
That's what I got.
No, I think that those are correct. I think it's just that one.
452.
263.
And 30 cents.
And 36?
And 30 cents.
30 cents. You're a math teacher. All right,
30 cents.
thank you. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure we were,
So where you see the bottom 408,518, that should be 452, 263.
got it. Thank you. Okay. So, I don't want to interrupt you if you
No,
want to summarize.
go ahead.
So if we did nothing, would we be at the top current APA exemption of 9,075,570 assessed, which would be a tax loss of 254,207?
Yes.
That's the do nothing.
Yes, but it does not include those 5 pending. I mean, we still have until January 1st.
Yeah. So it could go up.
So it could go up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we do have them coming, you know, it's likely to go up.
Can you re-ask that question? I'm trying to follow where you were.
Okay, so if we go to the very top line,
Okay,
and we have current APA exemption,
okay.
and that equates to an assessed value of $9,075,570.
Okay.
We apply the mill rate to that, we end up with a tax loss of $254,207. Now, if I'm correct, so that's the do nothing. If we put a cap, if we went in that direction, that would reduce, and we use the median income, that would reduce the tax loss by roughly $25,000 to $224,679. Am I correct in my thinking?
Yes.
So the top one is the status quo, leave it alone, do nothing. And then these other lines are if we do something. And we have
Yes.
several choices. We have two, the easiest two are the ones that only require Board of Selectmen approval.
Correct.
And the more difficult ones, the more harder to interpret, I think, are the ones that require a referendum.
Yes.
And
And
the
that
column with
would be
the,
wait a minute, that would be the yellow?
Yes.
And, okay, so we just have two categories, the green and the yellow.
We have do nothing.
Yes.
Yeah,
We have, so which is status quo, not do nothing, but status quo. We have the other two that are Board of Selectmen choices, which is adding a building lot to the exemption and adding up to 2 acres to the
Correct.
exemption. Okay.
Yep.
in addition to that, there's the
In
median one.
addition to that, yeah, so,
Right.
just to put that 9 million into perspective, last year it was 4.9 million. And it's grown to 9 million this year. So last year, the tax dollar loss was 139,562. This year, it's gonna be, a little more than 254,207.
So this median column, that would be the third option you presented where you said a bigger house gets a bigger exemption.
That's the way it is now. The
Yes.
bigger house gets a bigger exemption.
But we
This
could-
puts a cap
The
on
median
it.
column is Board of Selectmen action.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
do we have any information on the reason for the jump? Is this just additional veterans that are becoming eligible?
Yes.
It's a pretty big jump.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yep, we went from 41 to 56. Part of the jump is more people became eligible when they corrected the language. And the other part of it is a lot of veterans have gone back and seen if their disability rating would be increased. And so that accounts for a number of new individuals as well.
Now, do these people come to your office and ask or apply for the tax exemption?
Only for this APA exemption. They do have to come to our office. There's a whole process where they have to file their DD 214, their discharge papers with the town clerk. And if they have a disability rating, they give us their disability rating. Because any veteran with a disability rating is already eligible for an increased veterans exemption. So they just give us that paperwork one time.
I see.
And that's under the existing statutes. When they added the APA exemption, they wanted to have it clarified and have it verified, and so they added the application in. And that application, because if somebody's percentage is changed, we wouldn't necessarily know. And that's why they have to provide that documentation every year.
Thank you.
And it also helps towns to check, to make sure, veterans aren't getting more than one exemption. They're only entitled to one exemption, and in one town. So we had a few cases where there were some crossovers.
Okay, if nobody else has something, I'd like to ask for further clarification on
Sure.
on the 2 acre.
Yes,
So now, we could increase, if we wish to, that 2 acre extension?
You can, by just a vote of the board, you can add a building lot to the dwelling. Right now, it's just the dwelling. Or you can add the dwelling and the building lot. Or you can add the dwelling, the building lot, and up to a total of 2 acres. And if you look at this very colorful spreadsheet, this shows you what it would be for each individual record that we have. It also shows per each line item what the difference would be if it was capped at the median. So,
If a person had a house, and then a garage that wasn't attached to the house, they could only deduct the house.
as it is right now, that's correct. No outbuildings, and there's no legislation that allows you to exempt a garage or a shed or any outbuildings.
And what about undeveloped property?
Nope, nope, this has to be a primary residence.
Okay.
And it's interesting, and this is what takes a little bit of time to look at, to kind of see how each one is impacted if you were to adopt the median assessed value. So if you look at this chart, there's several if-then statements. So it would show you if you use the median dwelling against the median assessed value. There are some houses, there are a number of houses where just the dwelling is higher than that median assessed value. Then when you add the house lot, more properties get capped at that median. And then if you add the additional 2 acres, a few more properties get capped. Excess acreage is not assessed very high, so there's not a big difference. The majority of value in the land is in your house lot.
Right.
So the jump between the house lot and 2 acres is not a big jump. The jump between the house, the dwelling, and the house lot is a big jump, because in some cases, the land is worth as much as the house. So it's like doubling that exemption.
So if we are to do just the dwelling unit, the bottom line, we would be losing $8 million in tax revenue.
If you, yes,
And then if we
if you
did
use
the
the median
if-then.
assessed value versus the 9 million.
Okay, and then if we do that and the dwelling and the land, we would have a loss of $10 million. And if we did all three, $10,241,420, the bottom right figure.
Yes,
Okay,
That's using the cap, right?
yes.
Yeah,
that the median
cap.
cap. Okay,
All those figures are using the cap.
But that's not the tax loss though, right?
It's-
That's just the
Grand list,
grand list.
assessment.
Yeah, if you want to see the tax loss,
you have to apply the mill rate.
it's on the summary page,
Yeah, all the way
the
over.
first page.
Okay. So
So-
then you take the assessed and then you apply the mill rate and then you get the tax loss?
Right.
Is that
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
it would be the 408 or 452 as we uncovered earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is, of course, using the old mill rate. So, that 9 million is going to go up by the amount that the mill rate goes up.
a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do have it, so, you know, if
Appreciate
you
it.
want me to run the numbers at a different mill rate, I'm able to do that easy enough. And then the very last chart shows the addition of, if you were to do by town referendum, the TDIUs, and it's broken out the same way, what it would be like, you know, if you added them each step of the way, and if you capped them. It's a lot to think about. One of the things to consider is these options are available now and anytime in the future, right? They're part of the state statutes now.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're there, they're not going anywhere.
I appreciate you taking, it's very complex, and I know you spent a lot of time boiling this down in a way that we could understand it here, and to start to think about what it all means and the
Yeah, it takes
impacts.
a
And there's
little
so many
time.
different I mean, you could do the cap, but then you could give a little back by maybe, you know, including the 2 acres and or it's, yeah, it requires a large discussion, I think, on our part. And
Yes,
but this is a
and
great
looking
starting
at, you
point.
have to kind of look at
Yeah.
the numbers to,
And
you know,
to really
Get
kind of figure out what it means, and then what's fair, what isn't fair, what's fair to
Right.
everybody, what's
it's a
not.
lot to consider.
It's a lot to consider, and so this is a good starting point for us to think about it. We're not under the gun to do anything immediately. We can think this through and try to understand it better. And are you willing to come back at a future date as we hone in a
Absolutely.
little bit?
Absolutely,
I
and if
appreciate
you
that.
want me to run certain scenarios,
Yeah, well,
you know,
I think once we look at it, I think the board will have, of course, we're going to have questions and maybe look at it in a slightly different way. Are there any questions for Diane?
So just
Yeah.
a quick one on the last chart. You have a lot of letters, AFA, CFP.
okay.
Can I, yeah, I just don't know
Yeah,
the Thank you.
It's alphabet soup.
It's complicated, okay? When you get into the veterans exemptions, it's extremely complicated. I mean, there are a number of people that don't pass the CCMA exam because of veterans, veterans exemptions. So those are just codes for us that are used to identify, that are used by OPM to identify the percentage disability that a veteran has. It explains what kind of codes they have. In addition to these codes here, we also have low-income veteran codes. So it's all set up by a base rate, and then each town has their own reval factor, their veteran reval factor. Our factor is 4, so all of our veterans exemptions are within this statute are all multiplied by 4. And then they're, the second part, the C part, is half of what the A part is. But if they're low income, then it's double what the A is. The B code is double A, the C code is half of A. So,
Yeah, I got it. No.
we got charts.
Yeah,
No, you
we got it.
don't.
Yeah, the flow
No,
chart.
you
Lots of
really doesn't.
charts.
You might
There's
have to
so
come
many
back
numbers,
more
but
than
just
once.
really
What does
quickly.
AFA stand? I'm sorry.
Just hold on one second. So really quickly, so many numbers, right, and so many options, and I'm challenged with what is the real impact going to be with our changes on our veterans. Like, what is that actually going to look like for them? So I'm concerned about the impact of what any changes we're going to make is going to be on them, not just our grand list.
Well, yeah, that's,
Well, I mean, I can't speak
know.
for a veteran. I can say that this is what's allowable in the law, and that's what,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I can say. So, you know, the veterans, every veteran that was honorably discharged, or any veteran that was wounded as a result of their active duty, is getting an exemption. And how much of an exemption and what type of an exemption
Right.
depends on what statute they fall under.
Okay.
So, yeah, like I said, we have, and you can kind of see that with
Yeah.
the breakdown on the current veteran exemptions. So we have 1,629, and the exemptions total 16.4 million. And then there's 62 APAs, and that's, of that 16, that's 9.
Question. You said each town has its own reval factor, and ours is a factor
4.
of 4.
Yes.
Is that set by statute? Like, who does that reval factor?
It's set by statute by dividing the number of before your reval by the number after your reval. And if it goes up 50%, then your reval factor doubles. So the town of Old Lyme's reval factor just doubled after their revaluation.
So that means they would have more veterans then?
No, it means the veterans exemptions double.
Oh, okay.
And so if we,
You might have to come back more than once.
no, I mean,
It's complex.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
it's a lot to assimilate, yeah. I just to ask one more, just
Sure,
before
sure.
we end this discussion. But about the cap and about
Yep.
the median. So, trying to understand that. If I owned a house and the value of that house was under the median value, imposing the cap would not affect me at
No.
all. It would only affect those whose home values are above the median value.
Correct.
So it's a subset of veteran exemptions based on higher value homes that are worth more than the median.
Correct.
So
And,
if a cap was
absolutely.
imposed, it would still protect all of the veterans on any diminution of what they would receive if their home is one that's median or under.
Correct, yeah. It just kind of, it puts a cap on, the veterans exemptions generally are not based on the wealthier you are, the bigger the exemption you get. It's not,
Yeah, that's what I'm-
the
and
rest
that's what I'm
of the
trying to
exemptions are
understand.
not set up that way. They're set up based on other criteria. They're set up based on the degree of disability, and it's statewide only impacted by their reval, the town's reval factor.
Yeah. There's a lot to think about and how that works and what's right and what's fair. And, thank you. Any
Okay,
other questions?
No, you did a great job.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No,
That's a
I
good
mean,
thing, because my lifesavers fell on the floor.
I think actually Sandy.
Oh, Sandy had a question.
So it was said, the second two options, it was said that it had to be done by town meeting, and then it was said by referendum. So I just would like to have some clarification on, does it require town meeting or referendum?
Okay, it requires, I will give you the language. Of course, now I can't find it. It's vote of the legislative body. So for all of the ones where the Board of Selectmen is able to vote, it says by vote of the legislative body, or in such town that has a Board of Selectmen by the vote of the Board of Selectmen. And Okay, yeah, so for the three that the Board of Selectmen can vote for, it says, for assessment years commencing on or after October 1, 25, any municipality may by vote of its legislative body, or in a municipality where the legislative body is a town meeting, by vote of the Board of Selectmen. The other don't say that. They just say by vote of its legislative body.
We may have to get an interpretation.
So-
What our legislative body is.
Yeah.
That part, I'm not, me.
Oh, do we have,
Oh,
oh,
we
we
have-
have Tracy here. Do you mind commenting? You're prepared to weigh in on this?
And I would have to look at it because this is
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
to me, but it's my understanding it's the town meeting is our legislative body and it not by referendum.
So we do it by town meeting.
Yes.
Sandy,
Yes,
thank you
such
for
municipal-
asking.
Yeah, that was a great question.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
my understanding, but obviously I could get back to you on that. But
No, appreciate
It
that.
clearly says upon approval by its legislative body.
and
That's
the
town meeting.
legislative body in East Lyme is the town meeting.
So we're not concerned about the cost of a referendum
No.
in our deliberations.
That's right.
Great. Thank you, Sandy, for pointing that out. It was a great question. Tracy, thank you for being here to answer it. And Diane, thank you for all your hard work.
Okay, great.
thank
I'm
Now your
happy to-
presentation's over. It's like
I'm
final
over.
exams are done here. You-
Didn't even need your butterscotch candy.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to come back anytime, you know, the link, so you too can have fun reading the statutes
Yeah.
is there for you.
It's on.
No, I'm
Thank
sure,
you.
I'm sure we'll need more guidance and explanation, but at least this is a very good start. So, thank you.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you
Thanks,
so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we did that. All right, next, moving back to the order of the agenda. We'll schedule, we have a motion to schedule a public hearing on the automated ticketing ordinance. We,
Move the following. Notice is hereby given of a public hearing to be held by the East Lyme Board of Selectmen at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, January 7th, 2026, at the East Lyme Town Hall, 108 Pennsylvania Avenue, Niantic, Connecticut, to consider the ordinance titled Ordinance Authorizing the Use of Automated Traffic Enforcement Safety Devices. Copies of the full text of the proposed ordinance are on file for public inspection at the office of the East Lyme Town Clerk, 108 Pennsylvania Avenue, Niantic, Connecticut, and at www.eltownhall.com, to which reference may be had. Interested persons are invited to attend and be heard. The Board of Selectmen may make changes to the language of the proposed ordinance as a result of information presented in the public hearing. Dated at East Lyme, Connecticut, on the 17th day of December, 2025.
all right, do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Okay,
I'd like on record as to why we are calling for a second public hearing on this, because we've already held one.
okay. Yeah,
Anybody want to answer?
yeah. Yeah, I'll be glad to answer it. So, we had on the agenda for this evening, we were going to deliberate on the ordinance and decide if we were going to enact the ordinance or not. And we did have some information. Jason did some research, and he provided that research to me. And in the interest of full disclosure and transparency, I shared that information with the entire Board of Selectmen. So, on advice of counsel, since we were considering other information that wasn't presented to the public at the public hearing, best practice, and I believe the correct thing to do, is to renotice the public hearing so that the public has the benefit of some of the DOT crash data and speeding data that was presented to me and subsequently the rest of the board. So for that reason, it was the right thing to do to reschedule the hearing, and that's the reason.
Is
I
that-
appreciate that, and I feel like 100% that I want to have conversation on it, although I was told no discussion on it. But have it here, and it was over there, and I don't understand. So when I don't understand something, I'm going to ask questions about it. I get something in my email. I did not click on it because it was sent, and it seemed odd because there was recommendations from Jason Diebel on there. So it was almost as though click this link, and he's making recommendations on something that maybe he should be, maybe he shouldn't be. I don't really know if that's supposed to be coming via email and or not. The information went to you and Sandy, and then you dictated it to go out. And again, I didn't click on it. I don't know how many board members did click on it. Is that best practice? Because I'm thinking that it's not. And if there's recommendations from another board member, is that something that someone's looking at us to change our vote? Like, I don't know. That's odd to me. I've never had that happen. So then last night I get an email, I don't know, 4:30ish, that the agenda is now changing. It seems as though we have an agenda and then it changes like this. Tabled items, don't know why. The last meeting, you were supposed to go back and talk to council to delineate whether or not it was a 30-day, a 60-day, what the ordinance was, because apparently there were two. I have no idea. There was questions. Those questions haven't come back for an answer for tonight. It was taken off, but again, the information is here. It seems as though it isn't very transparent. And there's something that just isn't adding up for me. So I like to put my head down on my pillow at night. So I like to say things. And that's what I have so far on this.
Okay.
That's it.
On the question on the 30 versus 60, at the next meeting, I went through the packets and compared everything, and everybody did have the same ordinance. So Sandy and I went through what was provided, and I satisfied myself that we were all looking at the same ordinance.
Okay.
Yep, so that was taken care of. And, you know, this was unanticipated research that was done, and once I received it, I sort of treated it as like a hearing.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said that
Yeah,
you felt
so-
like you were tainted. So then the
Well,
information
let me
was sent
finish.
out to board members to
I didn't
taint
interrupt you.
us.
Could I finish?
Of course, yeah.
Thanks.
Sure.
All right. So I looked at it as though, you know, we're like a jury in a sense, and we saw evidence and we had public comment and we listened to it, and we're prepared to deliberate, but then some new evidence was presented to me and that Jason had received by doing work. And so it was incumbent on me, I thought, in the interest of being transparent, not to just hang on to that information and spring it on everybody at the meeting tonight. I thought it was important to distribute that to the rest of the board, since I had the benefit of it, Jason had the benefit of it. And once doing that, it was proper to reschedule a public hearing so that the public could also have the benefit of that information. So that's the reason why. And, you know, there isn't always a process that you can turn to when unanticipated things happen. You have to use good judgment, and that's what we did here. I hope that's satisfactory.
What isn't satisfactory to me is why I can't have a conversation about the packet that's in my hand. It's supposed to be something that I'm supposed to be reading, but it comes through an email. I did not click on it because it seemed odd to me that it came through the email. Why wouldn't it just be added to the agenda and have a conversation about it? I don't get it. But now I can't go through it with my colleagues. I can't ask questions of the person that sent it.
Well, it's not on, that document isn't on the agenda. We printed it out as a convenience. You already had it by email. And I think to make it easier for everybody, we printed a copy of what was in the email. And
why wouldn't it have just been added to the packet and the agenda to have the conversation here tonight? Why? It doesn't make sense to me, unless there's a legal reason. Maybe there's a legal reason, I don't know. It seems strange. Seems strange, and it seems like a very lengthy document. I mean, this is a very lengthy document, Dan. So it seems odd to me. So I'm bringing it out.
Okay.
That is true transparency.
Well, I have a question maybe then. If the public hearing was closed, at that point, we're not supposed to
Right.
be reviewing additional information. That's my understanding. Am I correct, Attorney Collins?
Maybe,
So this should
Attorney
have
Collins,
never
maybe you
come
could
to
address
an
it.
email?
That's,
Is that what it is? This should have never come via email?
Well, whether things come via email, I can tell you that once a public hearing is closed,
Okay.
no new information can be taken into account by the board without rescheduling a public hearing. If new evidence, if a board member wants the Board of Selectmen to take into account any evidence, then you have to have another public hearing because the public hearing had been closed.
Okay.
So that is a purely legal opinion given by
Which was
me.
needed, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was. I
Yeah.
mean, it
Yeah.
just,
No,
I
I agree.
appreciate it, honestly.
Right.
And I appreciate when you're here because when things don't add up for me, I'm like a dog, I
Yeah.
can't let it go.
so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, whoa, 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 we can't be, the board can't take into account any information unless the public also has
Right.
access to that.
So this information, so even though the public hearing closed, we haven't had another public hearing, but this information, this document is out here, but we can't discuss it, but it's out here for anybody to take.
I don't
We're
really
not allowed to
understand.
We
discuss
can
it.
discuss it at the next meeting. It'll be on the agenda. So the public will have, think of it this way, the public will have access to that, correct? And then we will receive comments from the public. Those that are interested and read it, we'll be able to listen to their comments. And then we get to deliberate, and at that point, when we're in deliberations, we get to discuss that document. That's the process.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Not really, but
Okay.
it is being explained and it is public, so that's going to be transparent.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't think I'm going to be the only one asking questions and kind of going, that's really an odd, it's just odd for me.
Okay.
So have I answered
You
your
did
questions?
the legal part, yeah.
Okay,
Thank
Great.
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. All right, so I think we have a pending motion to schedule the meeting, right? Do we vote on that? I don't think so.
No,
We're still
no.
discussing it. Any more comment or questions? Candace, did you have any more commentary on it, or
No.
you satisfied? Okay, good. Anyone else? All right, all in favor of scheduling the public hearing on the automated ticketing ordinance, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right. So now we can talk about appointments to, let's see,
To the CIP committee.
CIP committee. And do we have any suggestions? I know that Joe Bergaw had an interest in being the civilian member appointed by the Board of Selectmen. Any thoughts on that?
I have time available. I would like to serve on that if that's possible.
You already are.
Yeah, I think you and Ann are. You and Ann.
You and
yeah,
Ann.
Well,
Are the board members, but we get to appoint a non-board member.
okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know that we wanted the vote of the whole board as to who was going to represent.
So, yeah, we did vote on both you and Ann.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so you're on it, and, but now we get to also appoint someone that's not on the Board of Selectmen. It was suggested to me that Joe Bergaw would have an interest. He's very knowledgeable of all the public works items in town. I don't know if anybody has an interest, and suggesting him or nominating him or not?
Well, now, what about this list where Olivia Fairchild for CIP committee member at large? Is this,
Well, we're not going to consider that tonight.
so she can't be considered for it?
She can, yeah, she can be.
I don't. Is that what this list was
This-
intended?
this-
I don't know. I see names,
This was handed out,
right.
this list, and I
see
think
CIP
they were,
committee, that's why I'm asking.
yeah, I
Suggestion.
think they
It's right
were,
there.
yeah, so I think they were, to be reviewed, and then they'll come up on another, at another agenda.
So Joe would represent the town side.
He would represent himself as a person, not in his role as a public works director. But he is someone that has a lot of knowledge. You know, it's
He runs a department that has a lot of need also, so I question whether or not he could be fair and impartial in terms of deciding what would be a priority for the town and not just for his department. I mean,
okay.
that I know Joe. I think he's a great guy. He's very knowledgeable, very capable, and I'm not accusing anyone of any impropriety. However, I just thought that should be out and part of the discussion.
Oh, I could agree on that. Joe is fantastic, to be honest with you. But I'm going to circle back to Olivia Fairchild because I'm looking at it for CIP possible. So I'll throw her name out. She served on the Board of Education for quite a long time. It's a thought. It's there.
Is party affiliation part of the consideration? I don't know Joe's party.
Yeah, I mean,
Any other?
I don't think, not necessarily. I think we tried to get people that had an interest and had, you know, the expertise to.
And I also didn't know if Olivia Fairchild would be considered the citizen at large for like the Board of Education. Like, I'm not really sure what,
I know.
You know what I mean?
I think
I
I'm in the
just
same
kind
boat
of-
as you at the moment. She's not any longer on the Board of Education.
yeah, so
So maybe
they
that's
would
why.
take two people from the Board of Ed, and then the Board of Ed gets to put forward.
Oh, I
the
think
citizen
there's
at
already,
large.
this is the citizen, isn't this? I don't know where the list came from. Can I ask the question?
Yeah, Don McKenzie passed this out.
Okay, so does she
Yeah.
want to be on the CIP or not? She does.
I'm
Okay.
assuming she does. I think that it was
Because the Board of
vetted by.
Education already nominated two. Go ahead.
Board of Education nominated Chris Lund, who is their facilities.
Correct.
Right. and
Yes.
As their
So-
citizen representative, which
Got
is
it.
why I think Joe Regal is.
I see. Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I'll throw her name out there just because it's there. It's right here. There doesn't really seem to be a process in place as far as nominees or what have you. I'm going to have it right here. So if she's interested, and the other one is Joe, either or is fine with me.
And I believe that Don just mentioned that he would be interested. Did you? No, okay, I misunderstood. Okay. So is there one opening or are there two?
Well, there's one opening from the Board of Selectmen. We have our two Board of Selectmen members, Roseanne and Ann. And so now we get to pick a non-board member to serve on that committee. And, you know, I'm not tied to any particular person. There's,
So we need to vote first on, the motion is out on Joe at this point, correct?
Well, there's no motion.
There isn't.
There was no motion.
Okay, that's
Just
what I-
discussion.
pardon me,
Okay,
There was no motion
There's no
that I had
motion.
heard,
okay,
no.
all right.
so there's no motion pending. So,
I'd like to put a nomination, Joe Bergal, for the vacancy on the CIP committee. He's a longtime resident of the town, matter of fact, a lifelong resident of the town. He's very familiar with the town, which is why he's able to do the job that he does. And so I'm going to place his name in nomination and hope I can get a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. You know, I trust Joe. He has great judgment and great knowledge. And, you know, the point of this committee is to share the knowledge with the other members so we can make good and informed decisions on what projects we advance and which ones we can maybe wait another year or 2 or 3. So I think he would be an asset. So I'm certainly in favor of Joe being on the CIP committee as a person at large, not as a Public Works Director. Any other comments? Let's call for a vote. All in favor of Joe signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Great, I think that's it.
Now, do we have any other openings available for that committee?
No, I think that's for the CIP committee, that's it for us. We have our 2 board members and we have a person at large, so,
Well, does the Board of Finance need to have a
yeah, that's for
person
them
at
to do.
large?
Yeah, and that's for them to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that maybe then her name could be submitted to them.
You know, that's what I was thinking, maybe that was the idea, but I don't know what they have in mind.
Okay.
But, yeah, so,
Well, as I think it's on our list, I think it would be a courtesy to forward that to the Board of Finance.
That's a good idea. That's a
yeah,
good idea, Commissioner.
let's see what they do. Okay, so, all right, so we took care of that.
I'll talk to the chair.
Okay, so next is, we've had our presentation from the tax assessor, and thank you. Appointments to boards and commissions. So it'd be nice if this evening we could maybe consider, if we could work on the police commission. Do we have anyone that's interested, or do I hear any motions? There are 3 individuals, so you have it in your, there was a handout, there are 3 individuals that
Yes, we
are
have
currently
Regina
Regina,
Pitchery and Risa Spaziani,
yeah,
and
Tony Buglio.
Lucy Schuman,
I,
I thought it was.
Well, there are 3 that are sitting on the board right now.
Okay,
But there will be 3, there's 3 open spots. There are 3 that are on the board that have asked to be reappointed, and then there's a person that's not on the board that would, I believe, like to serve as well. That's Lucy Schuman.
Okay, so hold on. So we have 3 in front of us. These are 3 that have current seats.
Yes, they're currently on the board.
And then we have an additional 3 openings.
No, there are just 3 reappointments. There are 3 openings.
Okay.
And 3 of the people that, whose terms are expiring, they have all sought reappointment. And those 3 are Regina Petrie, Risa Speziale, and Tony Buglio. And we also have a person that has presented themselves that would like to serve on the board. And I think she's here tonight. Lucy.
I'd like to nominate Lucy Schuman for the police commission.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? We have Lucy here. Would you like to address the board, Lucy, and tell us a little bit about your background and your interest?
Thank you. I've been in town since 1981, working with our public schools. I came as the assistant principal at the high school and then went down to Niantic Center. And I have been, I built a house in town. I have made a commitment to spending what time I have serving the people in town, and I'd be delighted if you need my help to fulfill any position on the police commission that you'd like. I would say that I think the town has shifted and changed, as have towns in the whole region. We've had a variety of people who have brought great strength to our town, and it's always a good idea. Not necessarily me, I'm not talking about, but our citizens to capture their interest and their talents. So whatever you want to do is fine with me.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for offering your services to the board. Let's open it up for discussion.
I mean, Lucy's wonderful. I've worked with her on the Stars to STEM organization. She puts in a lot of hard work and effort into that. And it's a
I'm also on the library's board of directors for the foundation.
library's board of director for the foundations also.
And I had 4 kids that came through Niantic Center School, and always appreciated your guidance and your work over there as principal. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Lisa.
Well, I think Lucy being on the police commission would be very fitting, as she had to spend quite a bit of her time operating as a police officer in her services in the school, as far as discipline was concerned. She did a pretty darn good job. So
Yes, she did.
I think unofficially, she has served as, in the police enforcement field.
I think she would bring a fresh perspective, and I think that would be good for the police commission.
Me too. Candace, anything?
I can't agree more. I think you'll be a great addition, Lucy.
Let's put it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Congratulations. All right, we have 2 more openings. Do we hear any other nominations?
I'm going to move to appoint Reza Spaziani to serve as a member on the Board of Police Commission for the town of East Lyme with a term to expire on January 7th, 2030.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Second.
Okay. Well, I've witnessed Reza and you know, being ex officio, and I've grown to have great respect for her her guidance and her insight. I think she has great experience. She's served the board well, and I certainly support her reappointment. Is there any? We have a second? Or we have a first?
Yeah,
I'll
we have a
second.
second.
You have a second?
We had already
Sorry.
seconded.
Oh, we second. All right.
Yeah, no.
Any other comments?
No, I
No.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, motion carries. We have 1 more open slot.
I'll move to appoint Regina Hitchery to serve as a member on the Board of Police Commission for the town of East Lyme with a term to expire on January 7th, 2030.
Do I hear a second?
I'll
Second?
We have a second. You know, we're very fortunate to have Regina Hitchery and all her experience and offered great guidance to the board, and appreciate her very much, and especially we've got some tough times, and I'm glad she was there to help guide the board, and I certainly support Regina in serving another term on the police commission. Any other comments?
Just
All right.
for my observation, she's very even-keeled and a good thinker, so I think I would support her.
Okay. Well, let's call a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, motion carries. Thank you, Regina. Look forward to your service.
I would also like to say that I appreciate the fact that we got a written statement here tonight for the application. Each of them, Regina and Risa, both sent notes stating that they would like to be reappointed. And I appreciate that, and I think that maybe this is perhaps the start of this board asking applicants to submit a written resume to us with their background and why they feel they would be a good addition to the particular commission that they're interested in. We oftentimes have people that I don't know who they are. I'd like to know a little bit about them before we're faced with that decision on the night when they're sitting in the audience and we have no idea who they are or why they're here. I think it would help us to be better prepared, and also to make certain that we have a balance on the commissions, not just necessarily politically, but that we have some longtime servers and we're bringing up some younger people.
I can't agree more, Roseanne. Well said.
I agree.
Yep.
And we'll try to the extent we can, try to make sure we do that. All right, we do have some other appointments, I think, tonight that we can move forward with.
Okay, I'll move to appoint Daniel Cleary of 75 Stonehill Drive, Killingworth, Connecticut, to serve as a member on the Cable TV Advisory Council of Eastern Connecticut for the town of East Lyme, with a term to expire on January 3rd, 2028.
Okay, well, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
What is his address?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask too. It says it's in Killingworth, does that make a difference?
He's an employee of the town, and he's our
Yeah.
expert in, he's our IT person.
Okay.
So we really need someone with his experience to be the liaison to the Cable TV Advisory Board. So he's a key person, and
Good question.
Yep.
Or can we appoint someone who isn't a resident of the town?
I don't know.
Good thing you're here
I
tonight,
thought,
Eric, Trace.
I
Maybe
would
we
have to
can't.
look at the charter. I don't think you can, but I can look right now.
no, I think you're right. I know you're right. You
Yeah.
can't. So
Okay.
I didn't realize he's an employee, but he's not. So let's hold off on that, and we'll get him to move. No, we'll see. We'll have to find someone that meets that criteria. So we'll take that off.
Okay,
Let's see.
all right. I'll move to appoint Elizabeth Kuchta of 154 Pennsylvania Avenue, Niantic, as the East Lyme Town Historian, with a term to expire on January 7th, 2030.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
All right.
Can
Any
I just
discuss-
ask where the names are coming from? Because, I mean,
She's
what is the process?
She is currently the
So she's
town
currently-
historian.
So it's just a reoccurrence?
Yeah.
or-
Reappointment.
Oh, okay.
Reappointment.
Yeah, there's a reappointment.
Yeah,
That'd be
she's.
nice to know. I
I'm
don't have
sorry.
anything in front of me for that, so.
Yes, she's up. She's currently the town historian. So.
Good to know.
Yep. Okay. So, all in favor signify by saying
I don't
aye.
think I have a second.
Oh, we don't have a
There was
second.
a second.
Oh, we didn't get a second. I'm
I'll
sorry.
second.
All right, we got 2 seconds. All right. Very good. Then if it isn't any further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see.
As a matter of fact, Liz lived across the street from the current town, our current town building,
Town hall.
town hall. Yeah, her home was right across the street, so she was able to watch it being constructed, and seeing the next door neighbor's house torn down, so that we could get the building on the property. So we have an eyewitness to history.
Let me just, Sandy, on Brian Burge, do we know when he expires for the Veterans Representative? He's on this list, but I don't have it.
You're looking for the term expiration?
Yeah, for,
It says to expire on January 7th, 2030.
Yeah, I have it on the
Oh,
on the
Brian?
motion.
I mean, but right now, all right, so we're gonna, oh, you have a motion for him tonight.
So, but he's currently expiring, is that?
Yeah, he's expiring.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
All right, so
we
you
don't
have
want to
some
lose that
additional
guy.
motion.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, I'll let you do your thing. I'll
okay,
I'll bow
so
out here.
move to appoint Brian Burridge of 476 Boston Post Road, East Lyme, as a Veterans Representative for the town of East Lyme, with a term to expire on January 7th, 2030. And I think this is a reappointment.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay. All right, any discussion on Brian Burridge as Veterans Representative? He's certainly a very strong advocate for the veterans. and-
He's an encyclopedia of knowledge.
Yeah, he is.
He's a
Good
real
guy.
asset to the town and the veterans of East Lyme.
Certainly is. All right. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Dan, maybe he would be a great resource for a conversation about the veterans conversation that we just had earlier tonight.
I was hoping he would be here tonight.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we could, that might be a good idea.
Oh, absolutely. would. Yep, I mean, it would be great to have his perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, anything, do we have any others?
No, that's it.
That's it.
I have a question. I missed the last meeting of the Harbor Management Shellfish Commission, but I know there are 3 members whose terms are expiring as of January 5th. And so they're not on this list. I assume they're just going to expire and we're going to be without a board that can function.
Okay, so, that's one of the, so did they all expire? Who
I
who
have-
will be lost?
According to this onboard.gov, I have
Yeah.
Hull, Craig, and Jim are all expiring.
So we meet on the 7th, and there are no meetings.
Okay,
before
so
we meet on the 7th.
Yeah.
So we can do it.
Any board or commission. So
We
on
did-
the
we did
7th,
check on that.
we appoint, and we're still within.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so we'll try to do them on, what we did was we looked at any boards
That
that
we're
would,
about to.
yeah, that we're gonna have meetings before the 7th, and we're gonna meet on the 7th, so we'll have another week to,
Okay.
And it's a big list.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
we're gonna, yeah, there'll be a lot of appointments that evening.
I'm sorry, that was on my radar and it just.
No,
I
no,
missed
no,
the meeting.
that's, yeah, it's this time of year, you gotta be careful on that, so I think we have it covered.
I
is that
wonder if the town chairs know of people who are interested in some of these slots so that we could get some advance information about them.
I know that that would help me a tremendous amount. I feel like there's a lot of things that are kind of being missed, or it's, oh, we have to do this, or it's almost chaotic. Like even when I walked in here tonight, the papers are flying all over the place, things are changing all over. Now we're doing this, now we're doing that. It just seems as though there's no process to it. So if we could have one, it would be great.
So what we talked about, to have someone go through the list and identify the slots that are coming up. And I think we were going to appoint an ad hoc, how do we say, is it an ad hoc committee?
Okay.
Yeah, and what we're thinking would be, Don has volunteered to do that, Don McKenzie, and Roseanne, you've volunteered as well?
Yes.
So, as part of the process, if it's amenable to the board, I'd like to appoint Don and Roseanne to be an ad hoc committee to review the upcoming lists, and so we can anticipate those boards that have members that need to be appointed,
Okay.
and come up with the names and suggest them to us, so that we can be more organized. So, I'll put that out as a motion.
I will second.
You'll second?
Yep.
So, any further discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Tracy.
Aye.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
just wanted to make a suggestion, since I'm
Yes,
here and you're all here, that any new board or commission member should do FOI training, and certainly that it's a requirement for planning and zoning officials. And I think CCM puts on free
Yes.
seminars for people who are new to boards and commissions, so they understand the rules, and maybe just as a reminder, get that out to everyone now. Any boards and commissions that you're ex officio on, and new members should have to undergo that training.
I am so very happy that you're here. Your input, no,
Well,
honestly,
thank you,
yeah,
Candace.
No, honestly, yeah, Tracy, thank you. Because it kind of,
Yeah.
it's a learning curve, and coming from the Board of Ed, that's something that was plentiful. With CABE, you were always constantly being educated on nuances, all these different things. If the process needed help, whatever, if you were creating policy, regulation, you were having communication with CABE, you were having communication with your legal team. Here, it seems like it's a little bit different. So I keep craving, literally, process, best practice, all these different things where that was the wheelhouse. Not so much here, but what's the resource? Is the resource CCM to help guide along with legal to create something that doesn't really seem to be established, but truthfully in infrastructure, here is going to benefit East Lyme, not just now, but for years down the road. So is that the process? Is it having conversation with CCM and then you to create policies?
We've received all the new elected, we have received there's new elected official training in January, and then the FOI training will come after that. So I think it's in process.
It's in the
That
works.
just happens.
Mhm.
It's not something I think that's usually communicated, it just happens.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is suggested and mandatory training for some of the boards.
Yes.
Yeah, but what we'd like to do, and I didn't talk about it yet tonight, but we'd like to have a presentation, not only to the Board of Selectmen, but I think, all of the boards and commissions on what protocols are and how we're supposed to do things, as you're
Yes.
suggesting. And we're going to try to organize that. There's a lot, it's very busy first couple weeks of January.
Sure.
But I think maybe towards the end of January, beginning of February, if we could have a presentation, and we'll figure out what the right presentation is and what the right audience is, so that we are all on the same page. And there is sort of an overarching process that we kind of can turn to. So,
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
no, I
Yeah,
think that's very
much
important, and we've talked about that.
Yep.
We're going to try to advance that. So, no, it's a very good point and one that's appreciated. Okay, so I think I don't think there's any other appointments
No.
tonight. Okay, so next is ex officio reports. Are there any?
I don't have anything lengthy, but I've had the youth and family, I had Park and Rec, and it's really a lot of budgets that are coming out. I did have two East Lyme Board of Education meetings, and one that I did bring, where is it? Both Cindy and I attended, but I did bring just a copy of what they're looking at for their budget workshop, which is still, in the works if anybody wanted to look at it, and some kind of ongoings that they have going on at the schools, which is great. So I'll pass those down. And
Great,
that's it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other ex officio?
I have none.
I have one. So I attended the East Lyme Water and Sewer Commission meeting last night, and there was a presentation on determination of capacity by Dan Trachis concerning development on 200 Pennsylvania Avenue. He wanted 54,190 gallons of capacity, and the board discussed it after a hearing and said that the town did not have the requisite capacity, so it was denied. Yeah, that's about the only meeting that I've been to.
Okay. Anyone else? I did attend the police commission, and Lieutenant Mike Masick was honored with a service award for his great service during when he was the acting chief of police, and he did a wonderful job keeping it all together and keeping us all together and keeping us safe, and very much appreciate what he did for the town. And it was, I think, it was a great sacrifice on his part. He came into it still recovering from an injury, and put his personal well-being aside to help us through it. So I appreciate very much what he did. It was a well-deserved presentation and award to him. Attended the Board of Finance. They're getting organized and getting ready for the budget season. I think we have a great board, and I think there's going to be great cooperation amongst all the various members of the board, and I'm looking forward to getting a lot done in an efficient and productive way and beneficial way for the town of East Lyme. I'm very encouraged. That's my ex officio report. If there's no other ex officio, I do have I'll do a brief selectmen's report. I'll just give you an update on the I-95 Route 161 project. It's right now, it's about 75% complete. The target completion date is they're still holding, I believe, to 11/30/2026, just shy of a year from now. If you're driving down there, today they were pouring the west support wall, so west is the side near Old Saybrook. And they were, it's a huge wall, and they were pouring the concrete. They'll also be doing the pour on the other side, the eastern wall footing. You'll probably see a lot of rebar down low, and that's going to be covered with concrete. That will be covered. I don't know if they're pouring that tomorrow, but this week. It's great weather for it. They were fortunate to get some mild weather. Blasting, which was supposed to have started, got delayed. So heads up, the blasting is supposed to start on January 5th, 2026. If you would like to be notified via text, there's a way to do that. Go on the website and put your text number in there, and they will send you a text notification before the blast. I think last couple of days, 500 more people signed up for that text notification. So yeah, so that's important stuff. Also, you may recall back in, I think it was in September, we appointed Mariah Knight to be our fire inspector. And she was at that time taking the certifications and courses to become a deputy fire marshal. She completed those courses, so I'm informing the board tonight that I appointed her as the deputy fire marshal upon her completion of those courses. So we now have a deputy fire marshal.
What was her name again?
It's Mariah Knight. And I think she was, I believe she was in here. She addressed us, and she explained her process. She was a fire inspector. She didn't have all of the certifications to be a fire marshal. She completed that. She passed those tests and did what she had to do. And so now she's our deputy fire marshal. Let's see. Also, this week, we had a part-time wellness and prevention coordinator, and she's going to be promoted to full-time starting 1/1/2026. The increase in her pay will be largely it'll be funded by the Youth Services Bureau grant, and also by savings. It was Leanne Pappas. That's her.
It is Leanne Pappas,
Leanne
and that
Pappas.
is an incredible addition. We have
Yeah.
really, she does great work, and it's showing throughout the community.
And she's very enthusiastic, and she wants to be a full-time employee, and we're happy to be able to offer that to her. And there were some savings because she was away working on a project. And so now she'll be back full-time, and it'll be a great asset to the Youth and Family Services. So I'm happy to report that. That's my report this evening. I'm not aware of any additional communications. Any additional public comment? There's no. Oh, yes. Public comment, please. Come to the podium just to identify yourself, please.
Sure. My name is Linda Benfeld, 12 South Cobbler's Court, Niantic. I'm here tonight, my husband and I are here tonight regarding the veterans exemption. He's a veteran. We had heard that this exemption was in the works, and we were pleased when it was passed. So he was in the Marines, he served in Vietnam, he's 100% permanent and total, based on Agent Orange. And so we filed all the paperwork, and then the tax bill arrived, and there was no exemption on it. So we came down to the assessor's office, and we found out that, well, when the bill had been passed, there were certain things that had been left out. Diane talked about a few of them. And one of them was, our house is in a trust. So it was left out. So they have corrected that. However, I've been trying to find out, I talked to Nick Menapace probably 4 times. I've been trying to find out why, when that was discovered, why wasn't that added as retroactive? So that we could have gotten that, or any, I don't know how many people in East Lyme are in that category. But ours, you know, oh, well, you should be glad that you're gonna get it next year. You know, I know life's not fair, but, I mean, I just thought that was kind of, I thought it would be a kind gesture of the town to, based on the circumstances. But, no, we're supposed to be getting it next year. And I never did, Nick said he didn't know, he wasn't on that committee. He didn't really know anything about it. And that he gave me like names of people to call. I called some, the name he gave me when the voicemail came on, it wasn't that name. I left a message, no one ever called me back. So I really haven't gotten the answer that I was looking for, like why these politicians, you know, what, I just want an answer. Why didn't they make it retroactive? I don't understand. It just seems like it would be something that you would do. But, so I just wanted to, I didn't know what she was going to be talking about tonight, if that was going to be one of the things that would be under consideration or not. But, you know, we were very disappointed. So I just like to
Thank you.
make
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
very
Thank you
much
for your comments.
I think
And,
that kind of goes to the example of what I had said earlier, as far as, you know, going through the numbers. It is an incredibly complex,
Very complex.
just from what we listened to, and, you know, what the true impact on people in our community really is. So thank you so much for those comments.
Yes, thank you for your comments, and we'll see what the legislature does. They've done what they did, and now we have to try to see what we can do.
Is there anything we can do at the local level?
You know, this tax assessor is bound by statute, so they have to be, even though they might like to be able to do something, everything that they do or can do is really is governed by what is the law. So
It's at the state legislature.
yeah, the state legislature passed the bill, and the bill has these carve-outs that levers that we can pull as the Board of Selectmen and at a town meeting, as we discussed it tonight. So,
You know, I think it would be beneficial if we could have, I don't know what the wording is, if it's a special meeting or just a meeting that's just solely on that, if we could. It might be beneficial. There's just so much and so many different
Yeah.
questions, and, you know, if you were to go this way, what the impact
Right.
that's going to actually have. You know, I don't think anybody is, you know, looking to hurt anyone or to impact them in a negative way.
Right.
But as she had said, that, you know, when she had talked to Nick Menapace, that, you know, he just didn't know. There's a whole lot about this that we do not know. So I really want to have as much information as I
Yeah.
possibly can before making any type of decision.
oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be wise to we just have a special meeting, have that be the only thing on the agenda, so we can really flesh it out and make some charts and try to flow chart. However, you know, all our minds work a different way, and but how we can try to assimilate what it means and what the impacts are, and you
And
know
thank
what's
you
right.
for your service, sir.
Yes, and thank you. Okay. So,
Anyone
that's
else?
it. So now I think we need a motion.
Is there anybody else?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, any other public comment? Okay. Sounds like there isn't. So can we have a motion to move into executive session for the purposes of discussing pending litigation?
Okay, so move to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation and to include Town Attorney Tracy Collins, and then also would be, is it Attorney Tim Hollister
Tim Hollister
and Mr. Glenn Russo? Is there anybody else who would,
is
is that
No.
anybody?
I think that's everybody, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
We have a second?
Yeah.
All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're in executive session at 8:49.
I know, I wanted to.
It is, do you want to do the honors or?
Okay, the board entered into executive session at 8:49 PM and came out of executive session at 10:22 PM, and no formal votes were taken.
Okay.
And then I will make a motion to appoint Daniel Cleary of 75 Stonehill Drive, Killingworth, Connecticut, to serve as a member on the Cable TV Advisory Council of Eastern Connecticut for the town of East Lyme, with a term to expire on January 3rd, 2028.
Do I hear a second? We had a second. Okay. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Aye.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn the December 17, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen at 10:22 PM.
All right. Do I hear a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're closed.